Hello everybody, this is WarriorDan. For those of you who are new to the channel, welcome. And to those of you that have stuck around a while, welcome back. Today we're going to be taking a look at XCOM 2, developed by Firaxis Games and published by 2K Games. XCOM 2 is a turn-based action strategy game set after the events of XCOM Enemy Unknown, where, spoiler, aliens began invading the Earth, originally by sending in covert strikes, before eventually making the next logical step and striking in full force out in the open. You, the player, take on the role of a man referred to only as the Commander, an individual who, in XCOM Enemy Unknown, rallied all the major countries on Earth under one banner in order to push back the alien onslaught. After a long and brutal war, the aliens nearly decimated Earth's defenders and took you, the Commander, prisoner, along with many other humans. At the start of XCOM 2, things are looking grimmer than ever for mankind. The aliens won the war, and over the course of the last 20 years, following the events of XCOM Enemy Unknown, have taken over full control of the Earth and are manipulating social influence in the form of an alien/human hybrid spokesperson, who more or less looks like John Lennon if John Lennon had decided to surgically peel his skin in order to look like Michael Jackson. The game starts during the 20th anniversary global celebration of Unification Day, marking the anniversary of when humanity lost the war and aliens, referred to in-game as the Elders, united with humankind, aka began kidnapping and enslaving humans, all the while keeping everyone else in a state of constant fear.
Excitement continues to build as city centers across the globe prepare for the 20th anniversary of Unification Day.
Thousands line up at the site of the Great Accord, celebrating the formation of the Advent Coalition.
Keeping with their promise to humanity, 12 new gene therapy clinics will be opening in select cities by the end of the new year.
Despite the attempted attack by fringe elements, operations at the new facility in Paris thankfully remain unaffected.
In response to the unprovoked intrusion on the eve of our most beloved celebration, the speaker reaches out to us.
A small number of dissidents again repeat the mistakes of the old world.
Striking as we celebrate a benevolent savior who time and again offers only friendship and compassion.
Yet these trivial actions could never break the bond between humanity and the Elders.
Peacekeeping forces have already made several preemptive arrests of known collaborators. Advent again assures all citizens that today's celebrations will continue as planned.
Despite the total alien takeover of Earth only 20 years prior, humanity still continues to fight on, in the shadows and out of sight. Taking advantage of the Unification Day celebrations, a small group of resistance fighters, built up from a mixture of surviving XCOM agents, as well as new younger recruits, rescue you, the Commander, from the aliens' hold, and extract you safely back to XCOM's new mobile base. There at the XCOM base, an old ally resurfaces, providing you some much needed intel on the Elders' recent activity, as well as explaining your current situation.
Commander, the council you once knew is no more. Its membership have all sworn loyalty to the Advent administration, with one exception. It is good to see you again. In the days since your capture, I have done all I can to aid the resistance from the inside. It was these resistance operatives that provided the intel leading to your recent extraction. As of now, resistance forces are currently somewhat disorganized. If we are to defeat Advent and their alien masters, you must change this before it is too late. What you are seeing are classified reports of missing civilians from across the world. Their numbers are growing. We suspect they have been taken to a nearby Advent black site, though its exact location remains unknown. Time is short, Commander. We need you to take charge of resistance operations throughout the world. Establish contact with the local cells and bring them into the fold. Find this black site and shut it down. Save our world. The clock is ticking. Good luck, Commander.
Engage with the enemy head-on as they attempt to quell resistance forces from around the world, while you, conversely, attempt to set back progress on the Elder Secret Doomsday project. Find a way to balance resource gathering with direct military incursions. Use your available resources to expand and improve your base of operations. Take full advantage of what the XCOM base has to offer by, among other things, visiting your science lab where you can assign your scientists to work on research that will aid in the development of new weapons and technology that will help you in the field when combating the enemy. Scientists can also provide you new insight regarding the aliens by dissecting the bodies of dead alien types you've brought back from the battlefield. Upon first meeting the science lab technician running the facility, you're greeted with the following cutscene, which provides you a few crucial plot details.
Impressive, isn't it? Capable of generating immense power, yet completely harmless to human life. If only the same could be said for the rest of the aliens' technology. Commander. Dr. Richard Tigan, Chief Science Officer. I am responsible for the entirety of our research here, as well as the procedure you so recently underwent. Welcome to my lab, such as it is. I'm not sure what Central may have told you, but we found something while removing you from the alien stasis suit. A device implanted directly in your occipital lobe. Had I access to the equipment available to me during my tenure at Advent, I would already know the precise nature of its function. However, given time and your approval, of course, Commander, I assure you, I will find out. Which brings to light an additional point. Though aspects of this facility are indeed impressive, I am but one man. Were you to direct additional support personnel and resources to me, I could substantially improve the speed of all our research. Farewell, Commander.
You can also engage with the engineering lab where you can have your lead engineer, Lily Sun, produce weapons and equipment for your troops.
Okay, reworked your repulsors with some of the parts I salvaged from their old engine. Should fix that stabilization problem you had. Come on, Rover. It'll work. Commander! Getting our tech to talk to theirs is harder than you'd think. Lily Shen, Chief Engineer, at your service. You were probably expecting to see my father. In all that's happened, I'm guessing Central didn't tell you yet. He's gone. Dad gave everything he had to get us this far. This entire ship is his life's work. I know he would have loved to show you around the place himself. He used to talk about you a lot. You can be sure I'm ready to finish what he started. Might not look it, but from here, I can fabricate pretty much anything you come up with. And with a little more help, well, you'd be amazed with what I can do. It was an honor to finally meet you, Commander.
Requesting weapons and equipment will come at the cost of supplies, so use your supplies wisely. Neither money nor time is on your side here. Ensuring your base has enough scientists and engineers will allow you to more efficiently conduct new research, which in turn will allow you to create new weapons and technology for the engineer lab to build. Now regarding combat, the game employs a numeral statistic-based combat system, similar to what's seen in other role-playing games, depicting the hit percentage, or in other words, the likelihood of you successfully hitting your enemy with your attack. The percentage can be calculated based on a number of factors, including whether the enemy target is protected partially or fully by cover, or if the target is standing in an elevated position, as well as even the distance between you and the target. You will have a number of weapons and tools at your disposal in combat, including machine guns, shotguns, grenades, drones, and more. But the weapon is only as dangerous as the man, woman, or trans person that wields it. After all, you do not aim with your hand. He who aims with his hand has forgotten the face of his father. You aim with your eye. You don't shoot with your hand. You shoot with your mind. Okay, I'm done referencing Dark Tower. It doesn't even deserve a reference. I've seen that movie. Don't recommend it. Anyway, moving on. Okay, now that I've got the obligatory pop culture reference out of the way, time to talk about the most interesting part of XCOM 2, as opposed to prior XCOM games. In response to extensive criticism for failing to include it in the previous game, XCOM Enemy Unknown, Firaxis and 2K Games have gone out of their way to add extensive character and weapon customization to XCOM 2.
Operating some of our most advanced equipment, specialists deploy robotic drones on the battlefield that can be outfitted for combat or field medic duty. Just like it sounds, our sharpshooters engage enemy targets with pinpoint accuracy from extreme range. They're also trained in pistol marksmanship for the occasional close encounter. Serving as our demolitions experts, the Grenadiers provide heavy ordnance delivery whenever and wherever we need it. The Ranger serves as our primary reconnaissance unit, capable of moving independently in concealment while engaging enemies at close range.
At any time while you're at your home base, you can edit the appearances of your squad, everything from their name, eye color, suit color, weapon of choice, weapon color, weapon decals, voice, nationality, sexual orientation, and more. Okay, I'm kind of kidding about that last one, but you get my point. You can find yourself spending quite a lot of time customizing your troops, even naming them, and modeling their appearances after your friends. That's what I do anyway. I don't know if I'm the only one, I highly doubt that. I had quite a lot of fun with this until my friends started dying off. Either nobly sacrificing themselves for the good of the squad, for the good of the mission, or dying stupidly after somehow missing us out with a 91% success likelihood, and getting slaughtered like the incompetent stormtrooper they were. I'm looking at you here, Stephanie. Actually, I take that back, I'm not being entirely fair. At least the stormtrooper actually hit something, some of the time. You can pick your objectives from the command center.
Commander, good to see you on your feet again. Welcome to the bridge, the nerve center of our operation. The aliens have our entire world in their grip. Advent controls everything. Government, communications, industry. Not to mention the military. And it's on us to take it all back.
Your ultimate goal, as mentioned before, is to set the clock back on the alien doomsday weapon by launching specific counterattacks at key moments in their operations. You can also scan for intel, sell materials on the black market, and make contact with other resistance groups scattered across the world, in order to keep your base stocked with resources, allowing you to keep on fighting the good fight. In XCOM 2, you really do feel like a utilitarian force, making do on the barest of supplies, always feeling like the odds are stacked against you. Yet at the same time, if you make wise tactical choices, you'll usually live to fight another day. In one battle, which I unfortunately did not record, my squad was assigned to escort a VIP to the evac point a couple of clicks away. After successfully ambushing and eliminating an enemy patrol, we were attacked by a group of elite enemy types that were gathered near the evac point. My best soldier was killed and the second best, who was guarding the VIP, became mind-controlled. Left with only 2 low-rank units, I knew I couldn't focus on both eliminating the enemy while at the same time protecting the VIP from a now brain-controlled teammate turned enemy. So I made a difficult choice. I had my remaining troops kill their mind-controlled teammate and escape to the evac point with the VIP, before the enemies below could retaliate. In XCOM 2, you have to know when it's best to retreat and fight the good fight another day. Your soldiers can be affected by injuries received in the field. Upon returning from a mission, you'll be greeted with a special HUD showcasing your soldiers' current health status. This HUD will show you how severely your troops were injured by the battle, and consequently, how long they'll need to spend recovering from their injuries. While a soldier is recovering, you'll be unable to use them in any missions, and instead you're going to need to find someone else to take their place, albeit temporarily. Depending on the extent of the injury, a soldier can be out of commission for as little as 2 to 3 days, or on the other hand can be bedridden for up to 2 or 3 weeks. Generally, most injury recovery times fall between these two extremes. XCOM 2 improves on the foundations of XCOM Enemy Unknown on every level, and overall offers high replay value to anyone interested in turn-based strategy games, action games, or games with rich lore and storytelling. In short, it's got something for just about everyone. Now if you're feeling a bit more adventurous and want to try something new, you can install mods made specifically for the game, courtesy of the Steam Workshop. The XCOM 2 game launcher even includes a menu from which you, at any time, can turn on or off any of your installed mods. It's a fun little addition that allows players to further customize XCOM 2 so as to truly play the game the way they want to. And I give Firaxis Games and 2K Games full credit for adding it. I think it's a brilliant move and kudos to them. Overall, I'd give XCOM 2 a 9 out of 10, nearly perfect in every regard. I deliberated giving it a full 10 out of 10, but a couple of things hold it back, such as the very buggy killing animations, oddly prolonged delays between player and AI turns, and the slightly too rushed pacing of the game. The fast pacing feels very out of place for a game of this nature. Now granted, that is entirely subjective, and I understand if other players don't agree with this sentiment, but this is my personal opinion. Hence why you're watching this video. I assume you're looking for my own personal opinion. I assume that went without saying. Also, credit to Firaxis and 2K Games for continuing to develop new content for the game in the form of paid DLC expansions released every couple of months, while simultaneously not setting up a season pass economy, but instead releasing each expansion on its own and then bundling them all together at a discounted rate later. No pre-order DLC, none of that nonsense. This way, if you are a latecomer and want to catch up on past DLC, you can, but you can also choose to buy individual DLC packs, or none at all. It's entirely up to you. You do not have to buy the DLC to enjoy the full game. In this rare instance, the DLC is fine on its own. If you don't buy the DLC, it's not like you'll be missing part of the core game. It doesn't feel like they sliced off part of the game to hold on to it for DLC. Also, the game does not promote any of its DLC in-game, so you don't have to see ads for paid DLC you've not bought while you're sitting on the main menu. Electronic Arts could probably stand to learn a thing or two by following this example when it comes to their Battlefront and Battlefield games. But what do you think about XCOM 2? Would you buy it? Yes, no, maybe? Tell me in the comments below. I hope you've enjoyed this newest What is the Point of video. It's been fun for me coming back to this kind of longer video format. I've not done it in a while, and it is good to be back. Next up on the agenda, we are going to be talking about a certain developer that has been making the rounds and ticking off a fair number of their user base. That'll be next up on What is the Point of. But for now, this is WarriorDan signing off. Stay awesome, everybody, and peace out.